So at this point, all of a sudden, whereas you were used to, when you would post, you knew that it was going to be in every one of your followers' timelines. Well, that was not the case anymore. At this point, it became more of a pay-to-play system. And so at that point, you're having to become more selective because you're having to put money behind what people are actually seeing. And then on top of that, it was actually becoming harder for those brands because they were having to look for quality content, because if it wasn't, people were able to start grading them on a scale of 1 to 10, and then from there they were able to decide whether or not they wanted to see it.
They changed the rules of the game, so they gave all these brands free reach, and you were able to do great things in terms of how many people you were reaching, how many people were seeing your messages, how many people you were engaging. And for a lot of time, Facebook was like, you want to get likes, you want to get those numbers up, because it's like, okay, now if that number goes up and you're reaching 50% of your audience with every post, that's a great way to invest your money. And then it changed, and suddenly a month to the next one, your numbers drop 4 or 5 times, and then you had to explain to your boss that you're not doing anything differently, you're not doing anything wrong, it's just that the rules of the game have changed. And so maybe a lot of you have sat in a meeting in which, you know, a poor social media manager or social media director or whatever has to explain that Facebook is no longer relevant and kind of backtrack on everything that you were saying before. I've told many of my clients things that were true 2 years ago that nowadays are just like, it's different. So it's very important to keep in mind that Facebook has changed, and having a budget and being selective about what you post and what you're boosting is very important on Facebook. Especially the social media managers, like, I was showing all these great results, and now you kind of took all that away from me. I'm not doing anything differently. But the problem was that once Facebook got all the brands and everybody on the platform, and everybody was used to it and saw the value of it, then it was like, okay, now it's different. Now you need a budget. If you have a budget, you can get a great return. Facebook has a very robust ad system in which you can target, I think Jaime was talking about that before, you can target very specific people and deliver that message to NASCAR Latino fans, or he can post something about the new Bayern Munich jersey and target that to show specifically to people who have said to be fans of Bayern Munich. That's not something that you get in a lot of other platforms, but if you're really not putting money behind that post, you're not going to reach a considerable part of your audience. But the important thing here is, like, you used to be able to. Now the rules have changed, so maybe that has forced a lot of people to rethink how they approach Facebook as a part of their social media strategy.
You actually need to make sure that that content is relevant to the people you were trying to put it in front of. So yeah, you may have the greatest idea in the world, the greatest campaign, and it may be very appealing to your audience. But if you don't have, like I said, if it's a video, if it's an image, it has to be on their quality scale. It has to be able to line up. And I mean, when we're talking, like I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, something close to a 9 or a 10, that's what you're looking to achieve, something that is going to be engaging with your audience. And that's one of the ways that they qualify what you're doing, is they are looking at it and they're saying, well, are people trying to hide it from their feeds? If they're hiding it from your feeds, it's going to negatively impact your score.
And it's going to cost you more to put that in front of more people.
Exactly.
Not for YouTube itself, it's the second biggest search engine behind Google. So there's a huge demand for that video. It requires a lot of work.